given Big Mac and Miss Shirley a love potion. We may have given them a love poison.
Get your kid ass out of here. Valentine's Day is probably one of the worst holidays for those like me who always had a crush but never had the courage to act on it. I would normally sit annoyed, watching couples get together for this holiday and stick my head in a book or watch a TV show, reading or watching stories similar to my own to make me feel better about my life. Alright, this video isn't about me. It's about ponies and little ponies, my little ponies. Hello, I'm Discord Jedi Knight, and this is episode 17 of Season 2 Hearts and Hooves Day. If you couldn't tell from the intro of this video, I am not really a fan of this holiday, but the CMC sure are. Shut up, you silly droid. So, they find out their teacher, Miss Charlie, doesn't have a special some pony, and so they try to find one for her. Yep, it's one of those matchmaking episodes. And they eventually decide on Apple Bloom's brother.
Oh, that doesn't make it awkward at all, does it? I know it kind of makes it worse that it's his little sister, but I mean, it is somewhat sweet she is looking out for her big bro, I guess, but can you imagine Big Mac's perspective? My little sister is trying to set me up with her teacher? Oh my god, I mean, sure, her teacher is nice and young and all that, but this is just a little too awkward for my taste, if you get my point.
And the characters catch on pretty quickly as well, more or less humoring the girls, but having no intention of getting serious. That's the end of the episode, and so the girls learn you can't force love and relationships between people.
Oh, of course not. This is a cartoon. We need to get into magical hygiene, so when they see Twilight who is walking down the street, we stop by her saying hi, and guess what? She's reading a book as always. And yep, you can already see where this is going, right? Right? I'm not the only one. Oh my god. And so she tells them about this love potion. The book contains a love potion recipe, and she decides to give it to them when they ask to borrow it. Okay, Twilight probably thought that there was no way a few little fillies would be able to complete a working, dangerous love poison at their age. So I'll give her a break. And yes, it's a love poison, not a love potion, which makes it far worse. While most say it was out of character for Twilight to give them that book, let's face it, they're kids, and this is very much just that type of show. It's a difficult potion to get right. It probably would be a very difficult potion to get right. So, I don't know, I can kind of see her just giving it to them to study and not expecting them to actually, make a real working love poison. But for the sake of this episode, they do. Oh boy.
You take the first 6 Snoodle-Woogles.
No, you take it, Snoodle-Bum.
No, you Pookie-Pie. I'm all for romance, but this has been going on for hours.
Ew, okay, this is definitely the kid version of over-romanticized garbage. And just like the CMC, I want to split them apart immediately. It turns out that if they can do just that for an hour, the love poison, which, yeah, it's a poison. It's definitely a poison. They can hopefully undo the effects if they just get them to stay away from each other for an hour. So to convince them of this, the girl suggests they get married, and getting married means they won't be able to see each other for an hour because they have to get ready to be married, leading to more hijinks until, of course, they can finally split them up all the way up until the very last second where they're about to get married at the bottom of a ditch. Like, I'm not gonna say this is the worst episode in the entire show or anything like that. I just really don't like the theme of the episode, but I must admit that does come with a really good lesson at the end, but I'm getting ahead of myself as always. So up until the last minute where they tease the possibility of the two getting back together after the poison is resolved, which, by the way, I always viewed this scene as a joke with the girls, and I get a giggle out of it. I really do, but I do not actually ship Cherry with Big Mac. I think it's really weird that people actually ship these two together. I've always thought that was weird. I mean, after all, it's her brother and, yeah, her sister's teacher. I'm sorry, this is weird. Oh, boo all you want, shippers. I mean, come on, it's literally her teacher. Hilariously, it's always a running gag that Big Mac gets the gross manipulating him with Fluttershy, even, which I want to just bang my head against the table whenever I see that, because they have no relationship, period. Fluttershy and Discord actually do. And then in the comics, apparently, Big Mac gets kissed by Luna, not once, but twice.
If I had a nickel for every time I was doomed by a puppet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Yeah, I'm really not a shipper at all, and most of the ships in MLP make absolutely no sense, making them that much worse to me. On the contrary, G4, Flowercorn is actually a very good ship, with reasonable character development for both characters. Why
Oh yeah, I did a video on that. You can check it out here if you want to see my thoughts on shipping in general, and why I like Fluttercorn. How I can't take credit for this idea, and I completely forgot the name of the YouTuber who said it, but I do like the idea, so I'm going to mention it. There was no build-up to the season finale, and an idea would have been, if the CMC is having all this trouble with the poison, they could go and ask Twilight for help, who tells them to give the Princess of Love a call. Introducing Cut-Ends, who could have told them about keeping them apart for an hour there by setting her up to come back in future episodes. An interesting idea that I like, and it may have actually improved a lot of my opinion on this episode since I ultimately like Cut-Ends a lot. But in the end, I just think this might be the CMC's worst episode. It's just
so predictable and so cliche, but with that said, what do I give this episode?
It's a 6 out of 10, a fun episode, with a good lesson, but far from my favorite C episode, let alone the entire series. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below, and remember, my friends, friendship and love are magic.
I think I just barfed in my mouth at the last sentence.